Hello, I'm Tanya Arts from New Prairie United School Corporation, Northern Indiana, and I'm excited to have the opportunity today to share with you a project that I've been working on for the past 2 years. This project was inspired by two young men, both who passed away from sudden cardiac arrest at schools that are just 12 miles apart. I'll be joined by Julie West from the Play for Jake Foundation, and she will share valuable information on what her foundation provides. But more importantly, it's the partnership that I've developed with the Play for Jake Foundation and Zoll Public Health that I want to share with you today so that you can take steps to create a heart-safe environment at your school for your students, your staff, and your community members. Now make sure you listen to the end, because we'll be introducing to you a new member to our team. And this individual is going to take AED awareness to the next level. So learn a little bit about Jake West and a little bit about Mark Mayfield. And hopefully you can walk away with being able to do something to protect the youth in your community. Thank you.
Shine, you are mine and you shine for me too. I love you yesterday and today and tomorrow. I'll say it again and again. I love you more.
Hi everyone, I'm Julie. I am Jake's mom, and that video you just watched hopefully will give you a glimpse of Jake's personality. He was such a kind-hearted, funny, and just a 17-year-old boy who knew how to bring people together and make them feel good. So there are days I can watch that video and I cry, and there's days I watch it and I can smile with gratitude that one of his classmates taped that video of him singing, well, all of them singing, I Love You More at one of the FCA meetings he had here in LaPorte, Indiana. So as we move forward through this video, Mrs. Arts from New Prairie United School Corporation, she is the Hosa director, and myself will share with you some key points of undetected heart conditions, warning signs of sudden cardiac arrest and AED awareness, and a little bit about our nonprofit that we started soon after losing Jake, because as a family, we did not want to see this tragedy happen to another family, because it can be prevented with a heart screening. So like I said, as we move forward, I hope you will learn a lot from our key points that we want to share with you, so stay tuned. Little did I know, and probably for Jake as well, did we ever think that anything could be wrong with Jake's heart. He was very active and very physical throughout his entire life with sports and family events and just outdoor activities. So none of us thought at age 17 that he would collapse on his football field and later come to find out that he had a heart condition that could have been diagnosed with a heart screening. So as a family, we sat down during a very obviously difficult time early in our grieving process and decided that we wanted to do something to help prevent this tragedy from happening to other families. So we decided that we would start a nonprofit organization called the Play for Jake Foundation. And it's kind of cool how the name originated, the Play for Jake Foundation. came from his teammates and other teams in our community, and just throughout our community, we would hear "Play for Jake" being chanted. And actually, it was the very first game after losing Jake that the whole entire stadium was chanting "Play for Jake," and that was on both sides of the field. So it really settled in with me. And when we discussed about starting the nonprofit, that those three words stuck with me. So I want to thank all those kids out there and people who helped us name the nonprofit. And so what we do with our nonprofit is we go into the schools and we provide heart screenings. We do EKGs and echoes for all students, not just athletes, but for all students, because we feel that every heart needs to be checked. So we hope to get back to screening in our schools real soon. And as I have moved forward and as I have developed through this time of just trying to raise awareness of these conditions, it really kind of dawned on me that we can't screen everybody. And the AED awareness became a key point within our foundation. And when Mrs. Arts from the New Prairie United School Corporation, her and I were colleagues, and we just got together and decided that more needed to be done with AED awareness, because we can't screen everybody right now. My hope one day is that all children will be screened. But in the meantime, if we have AEDs that are located in the proper places and they're in working condition, we will be able to save a life of someone that collapses and goes into sudden cardiac arrest. So our partnership together and our friendship together has developed over the years, and I can't say enough about Mrs. Arts. She has really taken on this challenge of really getting the awareness out there and the importance of AEDs in your schools and in your workplaces. And later in this video, she will share more about her work, so I don't want to take that away from her. So that's a little bit about our nonprofit foundation, and I do have more to share. Being in education for over 20 years, I realized the importance of performing emergency drills in our schools. So I have practiced many fire drills, many tornado drills, and many active shooter drills, but I have never been a part of practicing a sudden cardiac arrest drill. So that needs to change. Does your school have a plan for if someone would go into sudden cardiac arrest? Would you know what to do? Would you know where your AEDs are located in your school? And if you don't, it's very important that you go back and you find out if your school has a plan, and if they don't, really strongly encourage them to put a plan in place, and also learn where those AEDs are. So a little bit more I'd like to share about Mrs. Arts, but I don't want to take away from the information she's going to share with you. As the Hosa director and biomed teacher at her school corporation, she has taken it upon herself after school to train her students in CPR and AED usage. There's not many teachers that would take on that role, but she knows how important it is that we are developing a culture of children that know how to do CPR and that are aware of the locations of AEDs within their schools or workplace. So I have to give a huge shout out to her as an educator, going above and beyond and doing more to better protect the children in her school. So those are a few things I want you to think about and act upon when you go back to school. So your school would be able to become a heart-safe school. And that is another thing that Mrs. Arts has been working on, and she's been working really hard to put together a program where her school corporation is accredited as a heart-safe school. As I walk through Jake's Foundation, I think it's a really good time to share some statistics with you on heart conditions and some of the things that we can be aware of. And the fact that every year 475,000 people die of cardiac arrest makes me realize that cardiac arrest is not so rare. and also when learning that sudden cardiac arrest is the #1 killer of student athletes and contributes to the #2 medical cause of death under the age of 25, and also the leading cause of death on school campuses, I know, and so many others know, that we need to do more. So when we're talking about a heart condition, there's warning signs and symptoms to be aware of that I'd like to share with you. So if you have a family history of unexpected sudden death during physical activity or during a seizure, or any other unexplained sudden death of an otherwise healthy family member under the age of 50, is definitely a sign. Fainting or seizure resulting from emotional excitement, emotional distress, or startle. Fainting or seizure during or after physical activity. Dizziness, lightheadedness during or after physical activity. Chest pain or discomfort and a racing heartbeat. Unexplained fainting or seizures. If you have a family history of heart disease. Unusual shortness of breath or unusual fatigue or tiredness. For Jake, he had none of these signs or symptoms. So that's why it's so important as a nonprofit foundation that we are screening our children so we can look at the condition of their heart before any of these warning signs or symptoms arise. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, as time passed and the realization continued to haunt me that not every child will be able to get a heart screening. So that's why partnering up with Mrs. Arts was so important, and the fact that we needed to raise this awareness and the importance of AEDs. When having 475,000 people die of cardiac arrest each year, it's so important that we understand the cardiac chain of survival by recognizing the signs and symptoms of sudden cardiac arrest. #1, if you come upon a collapsed or unresponsive victim, or if that person is gasping or has labored breathing, or it could also be a blunt trauma force to the chest from a baseball or lacrosse ball. #2, call 911 and follow the dispatcher's instructions. Call on bystanders to retrieve an AED. #3, start CPR immediately by pushing hard and fast on the center of the chest. #4, use an automated external defibrillator, which analyzes the heart's rhythm and, if necessary, will deliver an electrical shock or defibrillation to help reestablish an effective rhythm. And 5, advanced care from emergency medical services and transfer of that victim to the hospital. After losing Jake, my true purpose in life came very apparent to me. I want to make sure that this tragedy doesn't happen to another family. So I believe having a purpose in life is extremely powerful, and I hope all of you find your purpose in life to make the necessary changes in this world to make it a better place. And for me, looking at the sudden cardiac arrest law in the state of Indiana, I came to realize that this law needed to be changed. And so I went down to the state house and testified to make those necessary changes. And for me, as it stands, we have a new sudden cardiac arrest law in the state of Indiana, House Bill 1040, which I refer to as Jake's Law. It's not exactly what I want, but it's a start. And boy, did I learn a lot about politics going through this entire process. And I plan to go back and I plan to continue to make the necessary changes to better protect our children and to better protect you and your grandchildren and children as we move forward. So part of that law that did not go through that I hope to get through, and with you guys understanding what that is, we will gain momentum and more support. So part of our sudden cardiac arrest law in the state of Indiana is that if a player or student suffers any sign or symptom of sudden cardiac arrest, they are removed from play or practice and cannot return until their parent gives the school or the coach permission for their child to come back. And for me, that is a heavy burden on a parent to bear. We are not medical doctors, so I think for the needed change, I would like to see it the same as the concussion protocol in the state of Indiana, to where if student, or I should say an athlete, suffers a concussion, they may not return to play until they are medically released. So I strongly feel that if a child has a sign or symptom of sudden cardiac arrest, they should not be able to come back to play until they are medically released. Because, you know, if you think about it, let's say a parent, says, I'm going to send my child back to practice, and even though they had a fainting spell or their heart was racing, or any one of those sign or symptoms, and sent them back to practice, and a week later they suffer sudden cardiac arrest because there was an underlying condition that needed to be detected, that would be horrible. That would be a horrible burden to bear as a parent. So I feel that at the state level, we need to do more to better protect our students and our athletes. And there's more I want to add, but I have a feeling that's going to be a process. And I hope that maybe some of you out there can take it upon yourself to get more involved in what your state laws are in sudden cardiac arrest and or AED usage in our schools, because we need to do better. When we know better, we need to do better. And so I'm counting on you guys to be a part of that. Find your purpose in life, and don't hold back. Go after it, because this is a change that I believe strongly that will save lives. So thank you very much. And I look forward to now introducing you to Mrs. Arts. She has a lot of great information to share with you, and she is one determined lady that I am happy to call my friend. Have a great day, guys, and take care.
Hi, I'm Tanya Arts from New Prairie High School, and thank you for joining us. The pictures you just saw were of Mark Mayfield, a New Prairie senior who collapsed following a basketball game and died from sudden cardiac arrest. Since that time, it has been my mission and the mission of our HOSA team to spread awareness of sudden cardiac arrest in AED locations. And it's been a journey. There are so many things that we can do better. It's hard just to pick one thing to start with, but I'll do my best to hopefully help you be on a journey to have a heart-safe school. A couple years ago, when I started this project and really started to buckle down and thinking, what can we do? What change can we do in honor of Mark and Jake and Zach and Colton, these names that I shouldn't know 4 names of individuals who have died in our area from sudden cardiac arrest. I shouldn't know that, but I do. And I can't deny that we need to do more. We need to do better. And our state can do better. And Mrs. West is working so hard on that. But our state laws are just subpar for sudden cardiac arrest. It's kind of sad. So in the state of Indiana, coaches do not have to be CPR certified. That's mind-blowing to me. And in the state of Indiana, teachers have to get CPR certified to renew their license every 5 years. That means there's 3 years that they can be uncertified. Maybe that's not a big deal to some people, but for me, If I do something once every 5 years for, I don't know, 20 minutes, I'm not going to remember that. And if I do remember it, am I going to feel confident enough to just jump in, take over, and do what I need to do to save a life? I don't know. So that's why I need to practice that. We practice tornado and fire, active shooter. We never practiced active shooter drills before until our state identified that it was a problem because it happened and we need to do something about it. Well, this keeps happening. It keeps happening and we're not doing anything about it. So here we are. Let's do something about it. Okay. So some school districts have taken it upon themselves to say that all of our coaches are CPR certified and we require it. That's awesome. And I'm trying to get our school district to that point. It's slow, but it's getting there. It comes down to time and money. And athletic departments are struggling because of the pandemic, but guess what? Sudden cardiac arrest doesn't stop because of the pandemic. So I've reached out to our EMS coordinator. They're helping. I just have to figure out the logistics. And yeah, it's hard. It's a lot of time. I teach all day. I have that responsibility. But if it's going to save a life, I'm going to do it. So we're working on that. But some school districts are already there, which is fantastic. Some school districts require their teachers to be CPR certified all the time. Ours doesn't. But I'm working on it. Hopefully we'll get there. Okay. But what I could do is I could CPR certify my students. And that's where I've started. And since I've started making that requirement for our HOSA students, I've had more and more non-HOSA students reach out and ask if they can be CPR certified too. Well, I'm not going to turn anyone away. Of course, I have to find the funding for it. And I'm working on that. But I think they want to help. They want to have a responsibility. And someone once said to me that we should not include students in any of our AED or sudden cardiac arrest drills and emergency situations. And I think that's totally wrong because there were a lot of students that were helping Mark and Jake when they needed help. So let's promote that. Let's give them that skill that they will take with them to college, to the workforce. And as they require this, maybe from their future employees, and we start to change that culture, we start to look out for each other and we start to be ready. I can help you if you need help. Wouldn't that be an amazing thing for all of us to be able to say? So as Mrs. West and I were talking about what message did we want to share to you, there's so much I want to share with you. But we kind of narrowed it down to a couple of things. And so one thing I want to share with you is an organization called Project Adam. And when I started working on this initiative about 2 years ago, I stumbled upon Project Adam out of Wisconsin. And many states have an affiliate hospital that offers a Project Adam Safe School designation, but not Indiana. And so I reached out to some people and the ball was rolling and we, talked a couple of times and it's been ongoing for 2 years now. And finally, Riley Hospital for Children in Indianapolis is ready to launch their Project Adam affiliation. So that is a huge step for Indiana and our movement to become rescue ready. And so the staff there is extremely supportive and helpful. And I want to share with you resource that's been very helpful to me. If you go to Project Adam, I think it's .org, they have a lot of information for heart safe school designations. And one that you'll want to follow is this checklist. This is just one page of it. It's a couple of pages. It's not overwhelming or anything. And you probably will find that you have some things already and other things you just need to update or fine tune. Or the biggest struggle I've had is just getting everyone on board. And, it's been really tough the past year with hybrid schedules, virtual schedules, et cetera, but sudden cardiac arrest doesn't stop. doesn't stop with COVID or anything else. So we just have to soldier through. But you can, look at this checklist, and either you're good, you're not good, you need help, etc. And this has been a working document for me over the past 2 years to kind of see where I'm at. And so this is very helpful. They have lots of resources. They have some videos. They do have an AED drill video, which is fine. But we did have a student express interest in helping with this project. So she recently created a AED drill tutorial. And so I'm going to be launching that video next week to our staff and then also to our students. And we're going to have a mock school-wide AED drill in April, and then mid-May is when we're going to have our official AED drill. And that means we're going to be having emergency services responding, etc. So I want to get that, under our belt so we can do that annually, and everyone is aware. It is not just a select group of people, the school nurse, the athletic trainer. No, it's everyone knows what to do. If a staff member, a student, a community member, someone at the basketball game, someone at graduation, an official, whoever needs help, we are ready to respond, because it takes a long time for EMS to arrive to us. And even if it didn't take a long time, every second counts. And so responding right away can be a matter of life and death. So Project Adam can be a very helpful source for you. And then, like I said, probably like mid to late May, I'll be releasing this video that our student made. And anyone is more than welcome to use that at their school and adjust it, adapt it to whatever your needs are. So that's something that you can start looking at this checklist and thinking, okay, where are you at? And pick a few things that you can do a little bit better or start doing. That would be very helpful. The other thing you can start doing is looking for AEDs. And when I started looking at this, I was shocked. First of all, our AEDs outside were locked inside concession stands. Only like the coach had the key when the coach was there. And when we did look at those AEDs, they weren't even functioning. So since that time, I've had the fortunate opportunity to work with a local foundation who's provided us some AEDs and outside temperature control cabinets. And I've been going around educating people, sports team, etc., where all the AEDs are on our campus, inside and outside. So we can easily get an AED to someone who needs it within 2 to 3 minutes. So that is a huge step. And that would be one of the things I suggest you do first, is look for the AEDs. So why don't we do that? So Mrs. West and I are going to take you on a little field trip around New Prairie High School, outside the campus and then inside the school. And we're going to see if anyone knows where the AEDs are. Okay? We'll see you soon. Okay, so we are at a New Prairie track meet, and we're looking for some AEDs. And West here, you found this track star. You want to ask him?
Yeah, I wanted to find out if he knew where any outdoor AEDs are around this facility.
I think there's one over there.
Okay, around the building?
Yeah.
And any others around here?
Okay.
Okay, we'll check it out. All right.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to find a few more people before we go to the baseball game. And looks like I found the athletic director. Hey, can you tell us where the nearest AED is here?
Nearest AED is right back here.
Awesome, thank you.
Closest AED is right over
Ooh, nice. Over there at the cross country pavilion. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to keep looking around this track meet at New Prairie. It's kind of chilly today, but we still need to know where these AEDs are. So people tend to hang out at those concession stands, visit the concession stand, and see if they know where the nearest AED is.
Hi ladies, how are you?
Good, how are you?
We are good. It's a little chilly out here, but we were wondering if you guys knew where the closest AED is.
Yes, we do. It's right over to our left.
All right, thank you. Thank you. She's telling us that it's over here, so we're going to kind of walk the way she pointed us to see where it's at. And it looks like this. It's right over here. There it is. Has some signage above it so we know. And it looks like it's given a green light, so it's good to go. Awesome. Okay, we'll move on to baseball. Okay, so we're at a Cougar baseball game now, and there's a lot of going on here. Cougars are at bat, etc. But we're going to see if anyone knows where the AED is. So let's go. Hey, let's check out this guy over here.
Yeah, I think that's actually Mr. McBride. He's
Oh, yeah.
one of our elementary teachers.
Oh, go
You
ask
can
him. Yeah. Okay, go ask him.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hey, we're doing a little video. We were just wondering if you know where the nearest AED is in this area.
Well, I know there's one on the concession stand here in the baseball softball complex,
Right?
and I know there's one on the concession stand at the football track complex as well.
Okay, awesome. Perfect. Thank
You
you.
know where they are. Thank you.
Okay, like most places, you get people congregating at the concession stand. So go ask these young men over here. I think they're unsuspecting. Let's go ask them if they know where the nearest AED is.
Sounds good.
Okay, so, hey guys, how are you? Oh, hey Grady, that's okay. He needs to know too, but do you guys know where the nearest AED is by any chance?
Right around the corner.
Right around the corner. Thank you.
So now you boys know too.
You
right?
guys know where it's at?
You know now where it is.
Yep, right there it is. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Tell me where the nearest AED is located. Oh, there it is. Thank you. So we are going into the N17 door at New Prairie. Let's see if we can find an AED, where the nearest AED is. Oh.
I love it.
Look at that. So,
Saving device right there.
yeah, we got some good signage going on. We have some signs there. Oh, right by the gym. Perfect spot. Down the hallway, there's a cafeteria down there, so perfect spot. All right, good deal. Okay, so I'm at New Prairie High School. There's not a lot of students here today, but here's a guy. Hey, student. Can you tell me where the nearest AED is from this location?
Yeah, it's right down and around the corner.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks.
So I hope you enjoyed your time around New Prairie High School, around the campus. There was a lot going on that day. Very windy, very, very windy, very cold. And the Cougars were successful in their athletic events that day. And I took a student by surprise. He wasn't expecting to see me in the hallway, and I wasn't expecting to see him. But he knew where the AED was, and that makes me happy. But it's not just about finding things at school either. We need to be aware of everywhere we go. And so I've had a lot of success with students looking for AEDs when they're out and about with their travels, etc. And so we're going to take this to the next level. I went to Cincinnati for spring break, and I was excited to see Fiona the hippo. And I thought, while I'm there, I'm going to look for an AED. So we'll wait and see what happens here. Hi, I'm here at the Cincinnati Zoo, and we just, so you can see lots of people, beautiful flowers, etc. So restrooms first here. And of course, the first thing we're going to do is look for the nearest AED. Makes sense that it would be looky there. We don't have any signage outside. We can see right here, and look, my favorite, Zoll. Okay, we'll look for more. Okay, so we were successful in finding an AED at the Cincinnati Zoo. And I wanted to pause right there because this is the moment I've been waiting for. So here is your big challenge. And this is your opportunity to possibly win an AED trainer for your school. So listen closely. For the past couple of years, we've been trying to figure out, how can we make this more exciting and challenging and fun, but also we're doing some things cross-curriculum too. So I have to pull in that school teacher stuff for this. Anyhow, we had a student, very artistic student, who created the VIP of our team. And we have been waiting for the right moment to introduce him to everyone. And with the help of the Play for Jake Foundation and Zoll Public Safety, now's the time to do it. So I feel like I need a drum roll or something, but I'm just gonna share my screen. And here goes nothing. I can't believe it's time to introduce you to. This is Ruddy Eddie. And Ready Eddie is part of our team, but he is focused on finding AEDs. Now, I want to point out a few things, what Ready Eddie means, and or kind of some of the symbolism that's involved with his outfit. Ideally, if we were together, we would be handing out Ready Eddie to everyone. But since we can't do that, we're going to do something a little different. But so you have Eddie here, you have jam on his hat. Now, whenever you see any post from me or things on our social media, often finish it with #jam. And what that means is Jake and Mark. So if you find an AED, please leave a #jam and get that going there. We have on his sleeve right here, number 16, that was Mark's baseball number. The blue shirt represents New Prairie High School. The orange shorts represent LaPorte High School, which is our rival school, but it doesn't matter. When it comes to the safety of members of our community, especially our youth, it doesn't matter if you're rivals or not. We're all in this together. So the orange represents LaPorte with the number 26, which is the football number for Jake West. And then Eddie is holding a bat because of Mark's love for the game of baseball, especially the Cubs. So here's Ready Eddie. You're going to see him a lot more in the future now that he's officially launched. But we're going to start with Indiana and see how it goes. And we're open to ideas. You can print Eddie. You can do laminate him, put him on your phone, available, whatever. But I will ask that you go to the Zoll public safety booth in the expo, and there you can download him so you have him available. But notice this QR code. So I'm going to show you then what I want you to do with Eddie when you find that AED, wherever it may be. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're ending our trip here at the Cincinnati Zoo, and what we're going to do is go back to the one AED we found here, which is over here. And what I'm going to do is go over to this AED here, and I'm going to snap a picture of this AED with my Ready Eddie. So, snap. And then I'll show you next what you're going to do before you leave. Okay, so now it's time to get ready and let's find some AEDs. So that's your first task, is to find an AED wherever you can. But before you do that, I want you to stop by the Zoll Public Safety booth in the State Expo. There you can download a Ready Eddie file so that you have that available. If you want to print it out, great. If not, that's fine too. If we were in person, we would provide a laminated Eddie for you to keep in your phone case or something. But since we can't do that, this is the best we can do right now. So get that Ready Eddie and then find an AED. It might be at your school, at a park, at a shopping area. It doesn't matter. Just find an AED. Once you find that AED, then we want you to take a picture. You can take a picture with the AED, like a selfie. You can put Eddie in there too, or just Eddie in the AED, or you in the AED, or all three of you. Doesn't matter. We just want a picture. But notice there's a QR code with Ready Eddie. If you scan that QR code, it will take you to a document that we ask that you complete. And this way we can track how successful our outreach is with AED awareness. If you can just scan that QR code, fill in your first and last name and the location of where you're at. If you don't know the address, at least provide the official name and the city and state so we can look that up and find an address for that. And then upload a file. Like I said, you can be in the picture. You don't have to be in the picture, but we want a picture of that AED and then submit that. But here's the great news. So Zoll Public Safety is generous enough to be donating an AED trainer to the winning school. And you might ask, well, what do I have to win? We'll tell you what you have to win. You have to win finding an AED. So we want you to go out. We want you to find that AED. We want you to scan Eddie. input that information, but we have one more step that we want you to do. And we want you to do this so you can become familiar with the Play for Jake Foundation. So I'm going to share my screen with you on what the Play for Jake website, or I'm sorry, the Facebook page looks like. And we want you to go to the Facebook page. And here you can find the different events that they offer and the different projects and press releases on the Jake's Law, etc. But I put an arrow down here. I want you to send them a message and send them a message. And all you have to do is include the picture of that AED that you found, with you, without you, doesn't matter. Just an AED that you found and where that's at. But also include your contact information. And at the end of the conference, Play for Jake will be doing the random drawing for Zoll Public Safety and announcing who's the winner of the free AED trainer. So I would love to be eligible to win that, because I could definitely use another AED trainer for CPR classes, but I'm not eligible. So maybe next time, I don't know, but go ahead and do that. And I also ask that you follow us on social media. So I will share with you, this is what our Facebook page looks like. It's New Prairie Hosa. On Facebook. We also have Instagram at mpusc_HOSA. Please follow us, like us, tag us. When you find AEDs, tag us, let us know where they are. I have had students find AEDs that aren't functioning, and they'll let me know where it's at. I've called facilities and asked them, can you check into, I even stopped in at one, drove over to Hammond and checked out an AED that some students saw that wasn't functioning properly, and hooked them up with the representative that got everything taken care of. So anyhow, you know, together we can make a difference. Together we can spread awareness. And ultimately what we want to do is we just want to create a culture that people are willing and able to help each other when someone needs it. I mean, what a fantastic thing that is. And the best way we can do that is to spread awareness ourselves and to educate our youth on how to do that. And so please reach out if you have any questions, and look for those AEDs. Become rescue ready and stay safe. So thank you for your time, and enjoy the conference.